Learn English through a sweet love story, great for listening skills. Want to improve your English while enjoying a heartwarming story? This sweet love story is not only emotional and relaxing, it's also the perfect way to boost your listening skills, learn natural vocabulary, and feel more confident in English. No boring lessons. Just a beautiful story, told in clear, fluent English. Hit play and let the magic begin. Welcome to English Stories with Sherry, your go-to destination for mastering the English language through captivating stories. Here, we'll guide you through every sentence, ensuring you understand the grammar, pronunciation, and vocabulary that will take your English to the next level. So, sit back, relax, and let's dive into today's story. Lily's life was peaceful, simple, and filled with the comforting rhythm of her daily routine. But something felt missing, something she couldn't quite name. That was until the day he walked in. Once upon a time, in a quiet little town nestled between green hills and golden fields, there lived a young woman named Lily. She worked at a cozy bookstore on the corner of Maple Street. Every morning, she would unlock the doors, straighten the shelves, and greet the regular customers with a warm smile. Lily loved stories. She believed that inside every book was a little piece of magic, waiting to touch someone's heart. His name was Ethan. He was new in town, a writer looking for inspiration. Tall, with kind eyes and a quiet charm, he stepped into the bookstore one rainy afternoon. Drops of water clung to his coat as he browsed the shelves, his fingers gently brushing the spines of books as if greeting old friends. Lily noticed him immediately. There was something different about him, an air of calm, yet a mystery in his expression. She approached him with her usual gentle tone. "Looking for something special?" Ethan smiled, slightly caught off guard. "Just something to spark an idea." She led him to a section in the back, stories of love, loss, and life. As he flipped through pages, she watched him quietly. There was something poetic in the way he moved, like he carried his own story inside him. Over the weeks that followed, Ethan became a regular visitor. He would spend hours in the bookstore, sometimes reading, sometimes writing in a small notebook he always carried. He and Lily talked more and more, at first about books, then about dreams, fears, and memories. One day, Ethan asked, "Why do you love stories so much?" Lily looked out the window, her voice soft. "Because stories make people feel less alone. No matter how different we are, we can always find a part of ourselves in someone else's story." Ethan nodded slowly. "That's beautiful." Time passed gently, like the pages of a well-loved novel. The seasons changed. Leaves turned gold and crimson, and snow began to dust the rooftops. Their friendship deepened, and with it, an unspoken connection grew between them. Ethan started writing again. Inspired by the warmth of the bookstore, by the kindness in Lily's eyes, he poured his emotions into his work. But what he didn't say, what he couldn't say, was that he was writing about her. About the way she tucked her hair behind her ear when she was nervous. About the way her laughter made the room feel brighter. About how, without realizing it, she had become the heart of his story. One evening, as the first snow of winter fell, Lily was closing the shop when she saw something tucked between the pages of her favorite book on the front counter. It was a letter. She opened it slowly. "Dear Lily. Sometimes, the hardest stories to write are the ones closest to the heart. You once said that stories make people feel less alone. Well, you made me feel seen. Heard. Understood. This bookstore, this town, they gave me peace. But you gave me purpose. You are the story I didn't know I was looking for. And I hope, if you feel the same, that maybe we can write the next chapter together. Yours, Ethan." Her heart pounded. She looked up, and there he was, standing just outside, snowflakes melting on his coat, his eyes searching hers through the glass. Without a word, she stepped outside. The cold air touched her skin, but she didn't feel it. All she could feel was her heart, full and quiet and brave. "I read your letter," she whispered. He smiled nervously. And she took a breath. I think we should start our story. And so, they did. Their days were filled with shared silence and laughter, coffee-scented mornings and starlit walks. They learned each other's favorite songs, fears, childhood dreams, and small habits, the way he always tapped his pen before writing, the way she hummed when shelving books. But like every story, theirs had moments of doubt. There were rainy days when the words didn't come easily, when fears crept in, whispering doubts and insecurities. But even then, they held on to each other, remembering that love wasn't just the happy moments, it was choosing each other, again and again, even when the skies were gray. One spring morning, Ethan published his novel. On the first page, the dedication read, "For the girl who believed in stories. And for the story she helped me write." The book became a quiet success. People from all over wrote letters, saying how the story touched their hearts, how it made them believe in love again. But for Ethan and Lily, the greatest success was each other. Years passed. The bookstore remained, still on the corner of Maple Street, still filled with the scent of paper and dreams. Lily and Ethan ran it together, side by side, surrounded by stories but none quite as sweet as their own. Sometimes, when the day was quiet and the light just right, Lily would sit by the window, watching the world go by, a cup of tea in her hands. She would smile, thinking about the day Ethan first walked in, wet from the rain, looking for inspiration. She never imagined that the greatest story of her life would begin with a simple question. Looking for something special? And he had found it in her. So, what does this story teach us? Sometimes, love begins in the most unexpected places: a quiet bookstore, a rainy afternoon, a shared conversation about a favorite author. And often, the most beautiful relationships start not with grand gestures, but with small, sincere moments. Language, like love, is about connection. Every sentence we speak, every word we write, is a way of reaching out. Of saying, I see you. I hear you. You matter. If you're learning English, let this story remind you stories are powerful tools. They help you understand emotions, improve listening, expand vocabulary, and feel the rhythm of real, natural conversation. Notice how we used everyday expressions: kind eyes, caught off guard, time passed gently, tucked between the pages. These phrases bring color to language. They make you sound fluent, confident, and expressive. Notice how questions and dialogue make the story feel alive. Why do you love stories so much? I think we should start our story. This is how people speak in real life. It's emotional. It's simple. It's clear. The story also introduces emotional vocabulary, words like gentle, unspoken, whispered, inspiration, doubt, and brave. These are the kinds of words that give your English soul. They help you express not just ideas, but feelings. So, here's a little exercise for you: pick 3 words from this story that were new or interesting to you. Look them up. Use them in your own sentences. Say them out loud. Make them part of your vocabulary. And remember, you don't need to memorize boring grammar rules to speak English well. What you need is practice. Repetition. Real examples. Emotion. And patience with yourself. Learning English is not just about understanding words, it's about understanding people. The way they feel. The way they connect. The way they love. So, if you enjoyed this story, listen to it again. Close your eyes and picture it. Imagine the rain, the warmth of the bookstore, the smile on Lily's face, the nervous look in Ethan's eyes. Visualize it all. This will help your listening skills grow much faster. And maybe, one day, you'll walk into a bookstore on a rainy day. And maybe someone will ask you, looking for something special? And just maybe, you'll say, I already found it. Because language is not just for tests or school, it's for life. For love. For stories like this one. Thanks for tuning in to English Stories with Sherry. I hope today's story helped you learn something new and improved your English skills. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that will help you become fluent in English. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next story.